right, so here we are. I said I was starting a podcast. The podcast has been started, and I'm retired. Started a podcast. All right, I'm just playing. I'm Carlos.
And I'm Jacob, and this is the coin flip. Now, guys, I want to start by thanking everybody for the support. You guys have been killing it. I mean, honestly, expected way less than what we got. This is unreal, guys. I can't thank you enough. You guys came with a lot of support, some critiques, and we're only going to improve from here. So thank you so much.
Love you,
And
mama.
I want to start. I want to start off the video by commenting, and subscribing. Follow whatever you are listening on. And Carlos, why don't you tell them where they can listen to us?
You can listen to us on all major platforms now. We are on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google Podcasts, Amazon, and on YouTube. And then you can follow us on Instagram at the Coin Flip Pod. We got an unreal amount of love on the first day, and I really feel accomplished. I really feel like we have something special here, and we can just work with it from here. Now, before we talk about what today's episode will be about, we want to let you know we are not financial advisors. Anything we say is our opinion and should be taken as such. And so, Jacob, you want to tell them what our episode is going to be about today?
Yeah, guys. Today's episode is going to be about how to buy and safely secure your crypto. But actually, in the previous episode, the episode was supposed to be about the blockchain, which is the technology behind crypto. I touched up a little bit about that on the prior episode. Now, me personally, I would like to know where my money is coming from. What I put my money into. I want to know almost 100% of it. And that's what I kind of want to pass off to you guys. But if you guys, if you guys actually want to know about that, let us know, because we completely scratched that episode for this one because we thought it was appropriate to follow up with this and based off your feedback. But yeah, now today's episode is about how to spy and safely secure your crypto.
Yes, sir. And so also, I just want to mention, let us know what you want to hear. We want to be a trusted source of information because crypto is new, it's unregulated, and at times it can be scary. So we want to be your source of information. So you have to let us know what you want to hear. And so DM us, comment on YouTube, text me, call me, do whatever. But with that being said, we're going to catch y'all on the flip. First thing first, Webull and Robinhood. You have probably heard of these two major exchanges because they are extremely popular. And at one point, they were probably the top of the market, the App Store. So you've probably heard of them if you've done any type of investing on your own. Now, we like these apps for stocks, but for cryptos, no bueno. We do not like these apps. And let me tell you why. So in the last episode, we talked about addresses, correct? Another word for addresses is keys. And when you have crypto on one of these exchanges, Webull or Robinhood, you don't actually have crypto. And that's because you don't have an address, you don't have a key. So you basically own a certificate for crypto. So let's say you had some Bitcoin on Robinhood. You don't actually have Bitcoin because you can't move that Bitcoin anywhere. You have that dollar amount that is available in Bitcoin. Now, a lot of beginning investors use these brokers because they don't know any better. Well, we're here to tell you better. So I'm gonna give you 3 exchanges that are pretty trusted and have their own unique benefits. First things first, you have Coinbase. We talked about this in the last episode. Coinbase is very user friendly. I learned from it from just clicking around on it, and you can earn probably about $40 right now just from watching videos. So it's free money on Coinbase. And then you have Binance. Binance is for a little bit more of the veteran trader. You can set market orders and limit buys and things of that nature. So I wouldn't recommend Binance unless you're trying to get into trading. And then you have crypto.com. Crypto.com is pretty user friendly, and it also has its own debit card. So you can transact with your crypto on crypto.com. So those are some of the benefits of those three separate exchanges. And let me tell you some of the risk or the disadvantages to them. So one, they run the risk of being hacked because they're such large databases that they are targeted pretty often. Now they have a bunch of servers and people working to make sure they don't get targeted, but you know, there's things happen and that's just life. And then another thing that happens is when the market is really volatile, either going to the downside or to the upside, these apps tend to crash because there is so much traffic on them. So I'm going to pass this off to Jacob, and Jacob is going to tell you some of the most important things. And when I say important, I can't put more emphasis on it. The most important things that happen in or to store and safely secure your crypto. You want to take it from here, Jacob?
I got you, Carlos. Now, what I want to talk about is that your cryptocurrency on that exchange, yes, you have your own address, yes, you have your own wallet, but that is not technically yours in a sense. And I'll explain that in a second. Now, there's other ways to safely secure your crypto, and these are called offline wallets. And these wallets are usually very, very safe. They're not associated with exchanges, they're not linked with them, and they are personally on your computer for you to have. Now, when you download one of these offline wallets, you will be prompted with a seed phrase. Now, this seed phrase is probably the most important thing you could ever have in cryptocurrency. And you should always write it down when you are prompted with it, keep it in a safe location. And honestly, a lot of people like to store them on their computer. I do not like to do that. I don't care to do that just in case. You never know who can get on your computer. You never know what could happen. Maybe you download something, you get some malware, someone finds that information out, takes all your cryptocurrency. Now so I would recommend writing it down, locking it up, or just putting it in a safe location. There's no forgot your password option or recovered your old account option. You need this phrase when you open an app or when you have like a new phone, for example, and you want to download your offline wallet again. You need this phrase. If you do not have this phrase, you do not have your cryptocurrency. And this is why I kind of stray away from the exchanges a little bit, is because if it's not your seed, it's not your crypto. I really want to stress that.
No.
It is not your seed, not your crypto. If you don't have a seed for the wallet, you're at risk. You're at risk. Now, there's some examples of offline wallets you can use. There's Exodus and Trust Wallet. Those are probably the most popular ones I can think of. And there's also, I actually have one right here. Right, Exodus Wallet. I've been using it, very long now, probably about 40 years. It's very trusted, and you can even exchange your cryptos on that platform as well if you wanted to do any swapping whatsoever. And another thing is the safest way you can actually secure your cryptocurrency is with this little ledger. Hey, you got one? There you go. Look at that. All right. Yeah. So it's this little ledger right here. And what this essentially is it's just an offline, piece of hardware that you can plug into your computer and access all your crypto, and that you can store it in there. And there's a lot of concerns when it comes to that. People say, what happens if it gets damaged? Well, there's no worry about that. As long as you have your seed phrase, all you need is that to get into that wallet. So I do recommend that. I do recommend to buy the ledger. I think it's about $100, Carlos, right? Last time I checked.
Oh, you have the S that's about $60, and then the X that's about 120.
Okay, yeah. So, and I'm pretty sure the difference in the two is just the capacity of them.
Yes.
I do recommend getting one if you are trying to get into crypto pretty seriously. Now, Carlos, a big thing that we didn't touch up on is how to send and receive your cryptocurrency.
Well, we could touch up on that right now. So I didn't share my screen. 1 second. All right. So when you are sending and receiving, it's very important not to, if it's your first time, do not send everything at once. Jacob will tell you a little bit more about what happens when you send at once, but I'm going to say don't send everything at once. Send a little bit and then come back and send the rest after you can confirm that it went to your other wallet. So here we are. I'm about to show you guys some keys. If you're tuned in on YouTube, if you're tuned into the podcast, you're listening, if you're going to a Coinbase or an exchange, there's always a send and a receive button. So when you click on receive, first thing it says, be sure to select the right cryptocurrency. So if you're sending Bitcoin, you have to send it to another Bitcoin address. You cannot send Bitcoin to an Ethereum address. It will get lost and you won't be able to recover it. So it says, be sure to select the right cryptocurrency. If you send crypto to the wrong address, your crypto will be lost. There you go. You have to say, I understand. They're not liable for it now because you pushed I understand. So this coin that we're doing right here, we're making a demonstration out of, is called Algo. We could talk about what it does in another episode, but this is the Algo address right here for crypto, for Coinbase. So if you wanted to receive on Coinbase, you would just click copy, and then you would go to the wallet where your Algo is located, and you would just go to the send. It's going to be a send button in that wallet, but you go to send and you would paste in the to box where it's going the amount that you want to put in there, and you don't have to put a note for the most part. You can put a note for yourself, but for the most part, you don't have to put a note. And it's as simple as that. Once you do that, you have done your first transaction on the blockchain. So make some noise for yourself. Give yourself a pat on the back because a lot of people really can't figure that part out.
Yeah.
So Jacob, do you want to tell them some things to watch out for? Because there's some sketchy, scammy people out there.
Right. I want to touch up on the fact that if you do send it to the wrong address, it will be burnt. There's an example I like to say about Bitcoin's max circulating supply is 21 million, but that's actually not going to be the case in the future because there's been people that sent it to the wrong wallet, sent it to the wrong, sent it to an Ethereum address or sent it to, just a different blockchain's address. And that crypto is officially burned. That is not in circulation no more. So actually the actual amount will not actually turn out to be 21 million. Now, a thing to look out for there's a lot of scams in this community. I mean, probably in a lot of communities in general, but there's a lot of scams here. You're probably gonna, once you start looking into it, once you start like maybe joining Discords or whatever it is, you're probably gonna be sent with people that say, hey, earn free crypto, or hey, this is we're all buying into this, like get in on this. Don't click those links. Don't do it. Like, who cares?
Never ever.
Like, never. Like, just don't touch it. Don't forget about it. And another one is actually a phone scam. When crypto gets pretty popular, you actually get a couple phone scams. I think when I was getting into it in 2017, there's people posing to be the IRS telling me to send them Bitcoin because we owe them $3,000.
Wait, Jake, I just want to say something. The IRS will never, and I mean ever take payments in crypto. They're anti-crypto. So let's just get that out of the way.
Yeah, never send your crypto to anybody who's saying, hey, you owe us some money. Send us in cryptocurrency. Usually a scam because it's not traceable. People want to get that out of the way. Now, I also want to just make sure not to buy into any of these scams. Don't entertain them. Just completely ignore it and go about your day. Chances are, if it's too good to be true, it's not true. So don't go ahead and do that. Nope. And what do you want to transition to? You want to transition to some simple buying strategies, right, Carlos?
Yes, sir.
So let's say, guys, I want to stress something out before Carlos starts speaking here, is I don't want you to put money in that you can't afford to lose. There's no reason to go ahead and go all out. And Carlos is going to elaborate a little bit on that.
So, Jacob, you're telling me that they said that this coin was going to $5 by the end of the year. So I shouldn't sell my car and take out a second mortgage on my home so I can buy this coin.
Absolutely not, Carlos.
Oh man, looks like I'm going to need another strategy. All right. Now that may sound irate and crazy, but Jacob and I stroll through Reddit all the time and we see people posting in there, I sold my car to buy this coin. I believe in it this much. That is not good. I'm not advocating for that.
No.
But the best thing you could do is dollar cost average. So let's say you have $1,000 that you want to invest, right? I wouldn't recommend putting $1,000 in all at once just because you don't know how the market is going to go. If the market is going up and is going up, you're going to be happy. You're going to be like, oh wow, that $1,000 is making me money. But if the market starts going down, you're like, wow, I'm losing all of that $1,000 that I just put in. So, in my personal opinion, I think I think someone that is trying to dollar cost average should put $200 in and then see which way the market goes. If it's going up and it looks like it's going to keep going up, put another $200 in. And if it goes down, put another $200 in. And in doing this, it starts to change your average buying price. And so let's just say the market is just going down from your first buy. If you put in $200 after your first buy and it goes down again, you could put in another $200. Now you have $600 invested total, and the average buying price is going down every time you buy. So when the market starts making its way back up, you actually start making money because your average price isn't the price that you necessarily bought the first time. It's the price averaged out of those three buys. And then you just keep putting money in that you're comfortable with putting in. Now, if you don't like crypto, this is for the anyone that maybe think crypto is too volatile, is too new for them. There are other types of funds that I'm just going to touch up on lightly. You have mutual funds, you have indexes, and you have ETFs. Now, if you're one of my Michigan listeners and you want to get involved in one of these are more stable methods of growth. They're not as volatile, not as risky, but you may not make as much in them, but they are important. So if you're one of my Michigan listeners and you want to get into one of these mutual funds or ETFs, shoot me a text, shoot me a DM, and I can put you in contact with someone. And then we're going to wrap up the episode talking about mindset. 80% of what investing is mindset. So, do you want to talk about FOMO first or hodling, Jacob?
Let's talk about hodling.
All right,
Let's talk
let's
about
do it,
hodling.
sir.
All right, so there's this little phrase or little lingo in the crypto space that's called hodl, which is hold on for dear life. And it pretty much essentially just means you want to hold, like you just hold your crypto. The community is pretty toxic about this, though. Like they really, really want you to hodl. Like they really want you to. And the thing is, like I always say, don't feel pressured to. Like if you feel like you have enough money and you need the money, for example, or you think like it's not gonna go up anymore, do whatever you think is comfortable for you so you can sleep better at night.
Yes.
So don't buy into all this toxicity. We don't want to have to do this or anything like that. Let's just forget about that. You are your own person. Make your own decisions, and trust me, you'll feel a lot better. We do support this to an extent. Like we previous episode we talked about the 4 year cycle, and I do like to hold a lot of my crypto when we are in like when we are in and then we're in this time and sell it at the right price at the peak. Well, I kind of briefly described it in the previous episode. That's usually in the fourth quarter of every fourth year. I usually like to sell around that time. And this is really appealing for people who do like to hold because you usually want to sell at the peak and then you want to buy in probably 2 years afterwards when it's bottoming out, and then you go ahead and wait for the another 2 years to see how crypto is gonna do on the fourth year, which is gonna be what 2025.
Yes.
And so long term investments for me seem very appealing with the 4 year strategy in mind. So go ahead, you guys can do whatever you want with it. Hold to an extent. You guys don't have to buy into it. Do whatever is comfortable for you. Okay. And now another thing that Carlos mentioned was FOMO. And Carlos, you can take over about that.
I'll take over about this, but before I do, I just want to say one of the biggest things with mindset is don't ever be mad at yourself for taking profit. There will be times where you make a great trade and you buy something and it goes up 80% and you go like, you know what, I'm happy with this 80% gain. I'm gonna sell and I'm not gonna think about it anymore. But then you check on it 2 weeks later and it's up 160% or some unreal number. But realistically, you had no way to predict that. My only my only thing advice I would my only thing I would say take from that is maybe don't sell everything at once. Leave 20% to ride. Maybe take your initial investment out and then leave the rest to ride,
Mm-hmm.
and then we're going to talk about FOMO. So FOMO is a really real thing, and we saw this happen in March with meme stocks and meme coins. Now, we plan on having an episode specifically on meme stocks and meme coins because we think they give this space a little bit of a bad reputation. But right now, we're just going to touch on it very lightly. You see a stock going up 100% in a day, and you go, man, I need to buy some of that because it's going to keep going up. There is no way for you to tell. The only reason why you're feeling like that is because of FOMO. You have fear of missing out. Now, if you buy something because of FOMO, you will not sleep at night. I can promise you that. You will not sleep at night. And I'm not going to say that I did it because on some of these memes, I was actually a little bit early too. And I sold them very early as well because I didn't have any belief in them. And so I wouldn't say I had FOMO, but I definitely didn't sleep because I saw how much I could have made. But as I've matured in my investing ways, I've realized that I did what probably 80% of people would have done. So can't be mad at myself. You can never be mad about taking profits. And I think that's what we can leave them off with, Jacob.
Yeah. Well, I want to remind them, not your seed, not your crypto.
Not your seed, not your crypto. Your
Don't send your seed to anybody you
think
don't
of your
trust.
seed phrase as your ID. Keep up with it like it's your identification because that's what it is. So, with all that being said, Jacob, I think we're going
Let's
to
wrap it
talk.
up.
I think we'll talk to them on the flip.
We'll talk to them on the flip.